memory, all alone in the moonlight. I can smile at the old days. I was beautiful then. I, I remember the time I knew what happiness was. Let the memory live again.
Welcome to Gamepinions episode 28. I'm your host, Calman, and today I'm joined by TJ.
Hello.
You have bubblegum today,
Nope.
correct? Oh,
Nope.
okay. All right.
None.
Well, damn.
You could say I'm all out of bubblegum.
And we thought that John wasn't a good fit for the show, so we killed him. Instead, we will be interviewing a low-range frequency of pink noise. How's it going, John?
Boy.
Welcome back, John.
Yeah.
We're not going to sing you a song this time,
Yet.
but you are indeed back.
I am back.
So, you are back.
Welcome.
I am back. I'm not a low frequency range of noise.
Yeah, they were unfortunately busy today, so we're going to try for them next week. So headphone users get prepared.
No good.
It's been a busy last couple weeks. We have finally reconvened in our usual spot. And I guess the first order of business here is what have we been playing? So I think I'm going to start it off with John today because I know John has been playing a certain sports game that I literally bought for him. So shoot, John.
Yeah, well, you bought me Madden, I believe it's 20 now. Cause
Yep, Madden
I don't
20.
really keep up with that.
Teenage years
Yeah,
behind it.
we played it last night, and I did really bad. And,
He was awful.
But I blame Calvin anyways. He's supposed to lead me to victory.
Yeah, we played Mutt Squad, which is basically like Diamond Dynasty, where you kind of have your own team. Only it's not nearly as fun because you can't have like custom logos and stuff. And basically, you can actually play on the same team. You can play as like a double, so you'll use like whoever selects the offense, you'll use their offensive portion of their team. Whoever selects to play the defense will use their part of their defense. And then special teams, I think it's just like a mix between all of them. And I was the quarterback, John was defense, and John had a completely brand new team, and this is also baby's first Madden. So, it wasn't. I think we lost 75 to like 0 or something.
Oh my god.
But we had 2
We had
points.
2 touchdowns. We had 2 touchdowns.
Not touchdowns.
Oh my god. 2 points.
Well, no, John, you had 2. You had 2 points when I played against
Did
you.
we have a touchdown? I don't remember. It was a little score.
Yeah, because we
Safety.
hit Tyreek Hill for a touchdown.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was that game.
Actually, no, both touchdowns were Tyreek Hill. So yeah, we did that and we got slaughtered. Absolutely killed.
Wow.
I played against John. I demolished him, but once again, baby's first Madden. So
Well, I don't really consider that the game I've been playing recently. We only played for like an hour or two.
probably around there.
You gonna
Yeah.
play some more of that, John?
Probably. So I'll probably get back to you on that once I know what I'm doing and talk about that probably more next episode.
Yeah, we'll have to bring Dakota in because me, Dakota, and John are gonna start a connected franchise.
Yeah.
So we'll all have our own
well,
teams.
I'm more of an MLB guy, so
Yeah.
You could always be both. I believe the phrase is porque no los dos. Do I have that right?
well,
Let me pull out the thesaurus.
what?
The Spanish to English dictionary, I believe, is what Cal
Oh,
was
that's
referring
right.
to
Yeah,
there.
I thought that's
Right.
what the thesaurus. Whatever.
That's
Okay. So what else have you been playing, John?
I actually started playing Modern Warfare Remastered since that was a free game on PS Plus. What, like a couple of months?
3 years ago. No, I don't know. That was a couple months ago, I think.
A couple of months ago. I have not played that game in how long has it been?
Since
Decade.
Reflex, right?
Yeah, I forgot. We also played Reflex, the Wii version. I mean, I played it first when it first came out with a friend, but that's about it. And then played the Wii version.
Yeah, which is
Um,
actually really strange because World at War, which came out after Modern Warfare 4, on the Wii actually came out before Modern Warfare Reflex came out on it. It's really bizarre. It released it alongside of Modern Warfare 2, if you
yeah,
remember
that's
that.
right. So that was 2009. So yeah, it's been about 10 years since I actually played this
Jeez.
game. Um, yeah, it's slightly different. It's more in the cosmetic kind of things. A lot of skins for guns. The whole new things that companies are doing with the whole just buy skins and stuff and make it like completely customizable, make your
Hmm.
characters look different. Yeah, I think the original one, you couldn't do really anything like that, right?
I think the original had like a really limited selection of
Yeah,
skins, if I remember
yeah,
correctly.
customization wasn't as much.
Mm-mm.
Kind of bare bones, more into like the whole perk system and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's all there still. Nothing's changed really. Graphics changed.
Yeah.
Maps, they have some new like lighting on some maps.
Okay.
They have one map, I forget what it's called. There's a crashed helicopter in the middle. So for anyone out there who knows it,
Oh yeah, I remember that map.
uh,
Yeah, I remember that.
there's a Christmas version now. For whatever reason, they have it just like on the normal playlist, and I get it a lot.
Okay.
Where when you kill the other player, they explode into presents. And airstrikes are actually Santa Claus saying "ho ho ho" and raining down bombs from the sky.
Ho 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 ho.
Yeah, it's
Rocket
really
McGuffin.
interesting. I
That's right.
didn't really expect it. They
That's cool. I didn't
actually
know
added
that.
some um kind of fun limited modes. I don't know if it's limited because I keep seeing it there, but there's an RPG only mode, which is pretty
Oh wow.
ridiculous. Yeah, so everyone's just firing RPGs at each other. Bodies are flying like crazy.
What is that? The conduit?
Yeah, no, oh god, no conduits.
Another story. Another story for another time. So you've I guess been enjoying the game then quite a bit,
Yeah,
correct?
it's Call of Duty. I mean, it's fun for if you just want to hop on, shoot some people. I don't take it too seriously.
Yeah, I really miss that game actually. That was a lot of fun back in the day. Of course, we played at least I played only the Wii version, so there's that. Great motion controls though.
Hmm.
You've been playing anything else? Super Mega Baseball?
Yeah, just some more of that. Not much to talk about.
Okay. All right. TJ, how about you?
Uh, Within the past week, I went ahead in my spare time to platinum Dark Souls 3 after a few hundred hours. Yeah, I've just really been co-oping without completing New Game Plus 1 for a long, long time.
Oh, okay.
So I did start New Game Plus 2 maybe 3 weeks ago, and yeah, a few days ago, platinumed it.
Any reason in particular you waited to do it?
I mean, it's such a popular game to co-op, and plus I was playing Dark Souls on the PS4 and Sekiro. I beat Dark Souls PS4, DSR PS4, Sekiro, probably the Switch version after I had gotten to the end of New Game Plus 1 in Dark Souls 3. So a whole bunch of other things concerning From Software games in between the end of New Game 1 and the end of New Game Plus 2.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's fun. Just trying to platinum all of them, everything except Demon Souls. That's basically what I've been doing. Haven't even touched Rocket League in the past couple weeks.
Yeah, we haven't really played a ton recently.
It's all the way toward the end of the season anyway. There's not really, well, I haven't really turned it on. Maybe there's some more to do. I wonder if they have the old items to collect now that the last round of the event is done. I'm not sure. I haven't taken a look at it.
It's almost over.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get the keys or not the just the things.
I know what you're talking
Currency.
about. They may just be in the grace period
Yeah.
where anything you built up can be spent, but you can't earn any more.
Yeah, that's all it is now.
Oh,
Okay.
so there's no more cassettes?
No, you
Yeah,
can't-
they won't get you. Right, they won't give you new ones. I think the season maybe is supposed to end by the 27th of August.
Wow, it's coming up.
So,
Do
yeah.
those seasons have a certain length now? Because
It
I know
seems
they
like 3 months.
3 months. Okay, I know they did
I'm
some
not 100%
experimenting.
sure, but
That sounds right to me.
yeah. I think we're in season 11 right now, I think. I feel like season 11 and 10 were pretty short, but season 9 went on a long time. I don't have that information in front of me, but just felt like season 9 went on forever, and then season 10 was like over in a couple weeks. What the hell's going on here? I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention to it. I don't know. But yeah, that's all I've been doing.
I have been playing a little bit of Madden. Me and John have been playing some MLB recently. At least I thought that was recently, right? A couple nights ago.
Yeah, we didn't play too much.
Besides that, I guess this past weekend I played a little bit of Splinter Cell Blacklist on the Xbox 360, and I played some Halo 3. Finished off Halo 2, which I've already played through those games actually before. Just kind of revisiting. Me and Kimberly were playing through that.
What platform were you playing those on?
Well, it was on the Xbox One, but it was... Well, actually, no. I guess that would be on the Xbox One, the Master Chief Collection. So we were playing that, and then Blacklist was just a 360 game that we were playing on the Xbox One because backwards compatibility.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was pretty fun. Splinter Cell Blacklist is... I don't know. I always kind of get freaked out when I'm playing like those stealth games. I just like kind of freak out and then always get killed, and
Yeah,
it's
you
really
just
not my style.
Panic, jump through the window accidentally. It's like, oh god.
Yeah, you turn the lights on and off like 3 times, so it's like you're strobing them out. Yeah, it's not good.
Throw rocks at people.
Yeah. But it was pretty fun though. The gameplay was a lot of fun. I think if I had more time to kind of sit down and play it, I'd probably like really really enjoy it a lot. But I only played it probably for about, I don't know, like 3 hours or so, which is still a decent amount of time. But it was weird though. We actually tried to play the co-op, and my screen was just all black. I couldn't see anything. And if I turned on my night vision, it would just see like a green outline of my character, but everything around me would still be black. So we couldn't play co-op. Not sure if that is like a common glitch or not, but we tried restarting and going back in. So, but I will say, for not being able to see where I was going, I did a really good job. So yeah, I was pretty proud of myself. But that's pretty much all I've been up to. We did have some, I guess, news topics to talk about. So I guess we can go ahead and hop into those. This is going to be more of like a depressing. No, I don't know if it's really considered depressing, but it's not really like a happy news, a happy news segment. But the first news story I have here was Walmart removes signage for violent video games. This is following, obviously, a really not great thing that occurred. And I don't know, personally for me, I don't really want to get like super deep into it, but this was kind of a big deal because IGN actually ended up reporting that along with Walmart removing signage for violent video games, they said that Walmart was like halting the sales on violent video games, which turned out to be completely false. So it caused a whole bunch of issues. I don't know if you guys like heard anything about this throughout the week.
There's a USA Today article that came out, on the 9th of August, a few days after the shootings in El Paso. I think what the USA Today article talked about was, a memo, I guess, that was sent out to the employees at Walmart. Just a couple of tips, like, for example, use your best judgment when determining whether an element is appropriate. I don't know if this is like a temporary thing, just trying to be sensitive.
Yeah.
And I can understand this. To people going in there, don't want to see a whole lot of violent things on the TVs and things like that. So it's probably not just video games that.
Oh yeah.
The company was, trying to caution against,
Mm-hmm.
at least for the time being. That's really all I know about it. I haven't heard anything since then.
Yeah, I haven't really heard any follow-ups. How about you, John?
I just kind of been staying away from the news. Typically, I just see really bad discussions, and I prefer not to read like a 20-minute article and just something that doesn't really get anywhere.
Yeah, I honestly feel the same way. I like to kind of keep myself almost in a bubble. Like I'll kind of like hear things, here and there, but for the most part, I try to just kind of, I try to live a happy life and not get sucked into all that stuff. But it's obviously unfortunate, that is occurring. I mean, when I just remember when they were talking about it once, this whole thing came up and IGN put that article out there. I just know people were freaking out. But I guess it was just completely, it ended up not being true, that they like completely halted the sales. But when you were saying like, for the employees using like their, I guess, best judgment on certain things, now, I don't know if it says in there, did they mean that about like what advertisements to put up, or did they mean like selling certain games to like minors or whatever?
I don't know how specific that was. I think also in this article, I have it in front of me. They want they want all signing throughout the store checked and remove, and I guess this is a memo to their employees.
Yeah.
At least to the stores themselves, and then the managers can kind of tell their teams what to do during the day. Remove any referencing combat or third-person shooter video games.
Okay.
So, again, this is all in the USA Today article. Does it actually happen or not? I haven't been in a Walmart since then to verify. Kelly Tycho being the author. So it does mention video games, violent video games, and I guess depictions of them.
Yeah.
And in the other electronic departments.
Okay.
Just to remove them. Again, it doesn't say if it's temporary or not.
Okay. Yeah, I think that I did hear that it wasn't necessarily confirmed as something that would be permanent going forward. It's just kind of, I guess, the action they're taking right now. But I haven't actually been in a Walmart either. I was going to actually go into a Walmart to buy some fruit this past weekend. But when I got there was actually protesters outside, and this was out, in the Charlotte area. And I just decided not to go. I don't know what they were protesting. I just like, you know what? I'll go to Target.
That may have been something about, however accurate the first reports that came in were on what Walmart was doing as a response to the El Paso shootings. I think what people may have heard, that they were going to not sell any more violent video games, but continue selling guns.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to go too much into politics either, but I can see why they'd be protesting that.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, that is a bit weird.
Yeah. Walmart's like on the wrong side of things there, pretty much, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like video games versus guns, I think one has a lot more to do with mass shootings, whether you are a gun rights activist or an anti-Second Amendment person or somewhere in between, than video games.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
Well, we got Walmart doing all these things, but it's just the United States has a problem with it, so...
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a big problem all the way around.
I think Dick's, I don't know if all the Dick's stores a couple of years ago stopped selling guns after a mass shooting.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that was
was
like
actually
last
pretty
year?
recent. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, that's what people were probably protesting that day.
Yeah, which makes sense.
They want Walmart to be more like Dick's, which I can understand completely.
Yeah.
Especially, Cal, I don't, these video games pulling off the shelves, not selling them anymore. I don't think that actually happened. I think that may have been just flat out wrong.
Yeah.
And if it was, I don't think it'll be permanent.
Yeah, because IGN actually did come out probably like 30 minutes later with an update saying that initial report was inaccurate.
Yeah, they retracted it.
However, if you go on Twitter, and I don't know if it's still true, it was true probably about an hour ago. If you look at that original article, it still has that title on there that Walmart has discontinued selling halted the sale of violent video games. It doesn't display the update on the Twitter post. So still kind of like a buzz, title getting people to go to the site only to see that it's updated. So, it's a tactic. I can't really, I guess, shame them for it or whatever, but it's, I don't know. It's not really the best information, or at least not given accurately as possible. So,
It seems to me a lot of the actions Walmart took is to make violent video games less visible.
Yeah.
But
Well-
again, not just violence in video games, but like on the TVs they have on display there. Make sure those movies are not showing things like that.
Yeah.
Violent movies on the TV screens or commercials or things like that. Wherever they can control, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But what those protesters were protesting, that's the wrong way to spend their efforts.
Yeah.
In response to what happened in El Paso. That's what's going on,
Yeah.
and I agree.
What were you gonna say, John?
Well, just even if it's true, not true, even if they decided to do it at all stores, I wouldn't really be concerned about Walmart in general, just considering the superpower that they already are in the country. So, wouldn't really affect me.
No, Walmart kind of sucks. I mean, let's be real.
I don't remember last time I've been in one of those. I mean, it'd probably work out pretty good if you're in an emergency where you need a tire, right, or
Yeah.
battery or whatever.
Just not socks, because you'll go there and those bags will be torn open and there won't be any socks left.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been to not great WalMarts that I remember vividly. You'll missing socks. You'll go and there'll be like little loot boxes there, which is they have like a PlayStation theme one. That's what I got my cup in here. And you'll go there and it'll just be like the wrapping left over. People opened it up and just took the stuff out of it and left. Just stuff like that.
Yeah.
The prices are good though. It's just the shopping experience there. It sucks. Not a good shopping experience. I'd prefer to pay more and go to Target.
I don't
honestly.
think anyone goes for the experience.
No, well, some people do.
They go for those sweet deals.
Yeah, I mean, I think the experience also has to tie in with the price you're paying too. So,
Yeah, I think so for sure. But yeah, so that's our first our first kind of depressing. I don't know if it's really depressing. It's
Weird.
obviously not. Yeah, kind of weird. Not in the greatest of lights. But this next story is not really any better, honestly. And that is that Borderlands 3 is kind of surrounded by bad press right now, and it's not really having anything to do with the game, because the game looks great, apparently. People that have played it love it. I'm really excited for Borderlands 3. But it's about their, I think it's their CEO, Randy Pitchfork. Apparently he's done some not great things, or
wait, I'm gonna
he's accused
cut you
of
off
doing
right
not
there.
great things.
His
Yes.
name is Randy Pitchfork.
Pitchford.
Oh,
I thought you said Pitchfork.
People
think I
have their
did.
pitchforks out because of Randy Pitchford.
It's like
Oh,
that's
okay.
what it's like bad press and Pitchfork, and it's like
Yeah,
kinda lines
so
up.
there's a close connection there.
Yeah, that is. So, so Pitchford, and there's just like it kind of is like a long history of him not doing the best thing. Like apparently he pocketed I think it was $12 million of Gearbox's funds or something, and he apparently left behind a USB drive that had important company documents and borderline legal pornography. There's just weird. It kind of gets weirder and weirder the more you look into it, which is really a shame because I don't know how much this is really going to impact the sales of this game, but it was trending on Twitter #boycott Borderlands 3, which honestly it's really not. It's an awful comparison, but it's kind of like Chick-fil-A. I always advise people against not getting Chick-fil-A just because the owner might not stand for great things, because you're really hurting the employees. These people that are high up in companies, they have a ton of money. If you stop supporting them, it's kind of whatever, they'll be fine. But these employees are going to have to find a new job at the end of the day if the company goes out of business. That's obviously extreme, but people that work on these games, they spend hours upon hours. They work, I don't know, 80-hour work weeks or something, some kind of crazy amount of time spent into these games for months on end. Borderlands 3 has probably been in production for a long time now, or development for a long time. I don't advise people to not get Borderlands 3 because of something that their CEO has done or is accused of doing. I think it's just not the right way to go about it. You know, at the end of the day, you're kind of supporting the developers that are working on this game, you know, and everyone that's involved in that. So, what do you guys think about that?
Well, yeah, we need to think about the employees. I imagine with these highly skilled workers, especially the people who work at Gearbox or 2K, whatever have you. I'm hoping that I don't mind the whole. I mean, what he did was, I guess, get copyright strikes on Supmato's channel because Supmato, the YouTube Borderlands content creator, put I guess used the publicly available Steam codes to access some content and then leak some of that content.
Oh,
And I guess Randy Pitchford didn't like that and did something. I guess had YouTube put copyright strikes on his channel.
that's not good.
So I don't like that. I don't like having content creators, especially when it comes to retribution. Someone trying to take revenge on you for essentially something that Randy or Gearbox allowed happen. I think they gave Supmato all the tools he needed to leak this content, which was more or less publicly available. Hopefully, I'm right on that. So, yeah, I don't like having these people who set themselves up to have their content leaked get revenge on the leaker with all this info being presented.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some gray area there. So I don't really mind the Borderlands 3 boycott as long as they link it to this weird ass guy who happens to be the head honcho over there.
Yeah.
My hope is that whatever shareholders they have, whatever shareholders that 2K has, realize people are boycotting this because of what Randy Pitchford is doing and what has done in the past. And instead of having the company tank, they have someone in charge instead of Randy who can actually be forthright and honest and not take retribution against YouTube people who is more or less free is freely advertising this game and what it has to offer. And instead of having the employees go down with the ship.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, why punish somebody for accessing something that was in, I guess the trial or demo of the game? Like,
I'm getting this information from this Screen Rant website.
Okay.
Who knows when it comes to video games and articles like that? Who knows what the validity of the articles out there? I don't know. It doesn't really get like any major news organizations looking at it. And I'm not saying people who run these small websites aren't accurate.
Yeah.
As far as I know, some of these smaller websites may even be more accurate than the large media corporations. But my knowledge may not be 100% true either, or some updates that I haven't caught may have popped up too. But that's how I understand. That's what I understand is going on right now.
Okay. How about you, John?
Is Gearbox independent or?
They're under the 2K umbrella.
Oh, they're under 2K. Okay.
I think
Yeah,
so. Yeah.
I mean,
that's how it works.
This is typically where the stakeholders step in, and they all talk about what's going to be best for the company. Who knows? He might get outed. So.
God, it's gonna be like Papa John sues Papa John's all over again.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be just like that.
Yeah. So that's I guess an intriguing storyline to pay attention to as Borderlands 3 I think went platinum last week or gold. I think it was platinum. I forget these terminologies.
Gone gold.
But was it gold?
Typically gone gold is the expression.
Okay.
I want Borderlands to be a great experience and a fun game, but I don't want assholes to get rewarded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So this is I'm sure there's a lot of we've talked about a few podcasts ago about the whole Pokemon controversy with what they're doing with these Sword and Shield games.
Yeah.
There's a lot of employees that work at Game Freak who probably don't agree with the director or CEO the head people over at Game Freak who are going to suffer because a lot of people aren't going to buy this game.
Yeah.
We want to punish Nintendo. That's really harsh language. We want to show Nintendo that they could, Game Freak, that they could provide a better game. And we want to show, I think it's a good idea to show Borderlands that, Gearbox and 2K, that this isn't acceptable behavior from their head guy.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I know for me personally, I'm still probably going to buy it like day one.
I'd like to see some changes. I'm going to kind of follow this. Like I say, I don't want people's content being taken down because, for right now, it doesn't seem like he did anything illegal or anything like that. The content creator submotto.
Yeah, it is. It's a really messed up thing to do. I mean, it's if you give people access to stuff, they're gonna explore as far as they're gonna be able to explore. I mean, that's part of why they're doing what they're doing, because they're passionate about the game. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not honestly really sure what to think about that.
Yeah, again, maybe more information will come out and we'll make our decision based on maybe there's always a compromise, right? Instead of buying it at launch, and I'm not going to tell anyone when to buy it, but maybe not. I probably won't buy it at launch. Maybe I'll buy it for Christmas time or whatever. Or if some more information comes out that's really damning against this guy, then I may not buy it for another year or so.
Yeah.
Maybe when it comes out for free in a couple of years. I don't know. No, I'm not in any rush to get it.
When it's on PS Plus on PS5 as the free download, 30 years from now.
That's right.
All right, so this one's probably the happiest news story, and this is that there is a rumored SNES controller possibly in the works for Switch. This is according to an FCC filing for a wireless SNES controller for the Nintendo Switch. This kind of comes almost a year after, I believe, they revealed the NES controllers for the Switch. Which is, of course, for the Nintendo Switch Online or NES Online app, or I guess it would be considered an app, where you have all the different NES games that are updated monthly on the Switch's NES Online app. So this kind of doesn't really come as a huge surprise. Obviously, they kind of still need to add some more NES games. There's a couple big ones that aren't on there, but the thought of them putting SNES now and slowly updating that library is pretty exciting, I think, because there's a lot of great SNES games that they can obviously put on there. I'm personally hoping for Earthbound because I obviously love Earthbound, and I would love to have that on every system that I own, if at all possible. So what do you guys think about that? Good move if Nintendo ends up putting SNES games on that little app?
I mean, I don't really play a lot of these virtual console type games a lot. There's a few that I'll play, maybe not much, but I mean, I wouldn't care either way. So
no, I think I agree with John. I mean, I haven't played a virtual console game in a long time. I know you've got some really, you've got some games, Cal, you really like on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Me, not so much. I mean, I think even, I think Castlevania 4 is on Super Nintendo, SNES.
Yeah.
But you can get that, if I'm not mistaken, even on like PSN right now.
I think you can actually get that on Switch right now. I think there's a Castlevania collection currently on Switch.
Yeah, there's something like that on PSN.
Okay.
But the point is, I mean, all the great games, I mean, obviously, you want to link to the past and things like that, but I don't know. It doesn't impress me.
See, I think that my thought process is that as long as they keep the online pricing the same, this just adds value to an online pricing format here that is already pretty reasonably priced. What is it, like $30 a year or something like that? And then you get, not only do you get continuous update of NES games, then you also get SNES games on there now too. I think it's kind of adding more and more value. I mean, what's after SNES? Are you going to go like Game Boy Advance? Are you going to go Nintendo DS? I mean, there's certain, I guess, there's certain things I'm really excited about and curious to see what they do, because part of the thing that I really wanted them to do with the Wii U, and I think they really missed the mark on it, once it started to kind of struggle, and you could clearly see that the third-party support was not going to come, and it was just kind of in dire need of something. I always thought that it would be smart to make the ultimate Nintendo platform where you could play any Nintendo game on it. And I mean,
that'd be cool,
because that's Nintendo's bread and butter. It's their IP that they've accumulated and that they've put out there over the years. So in this case, the Switch is getting a decent amount of third-party support. It obviously could be better, but now you make it the ultimate Nintendo platform. I think that really adds appeal to that online service, and really just means that the best is yet to come. So I'm actually really excited about that, and I think the SNES controller is freaking awesome too. So that's something I would definitely invest in. I think that if they ended up doing that, so that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think when you describe it like that, I think it's a good move, and I want them to keep building on that. I mean, I think even the Wii U had some DS games that you could play. I remember having seeing Mystery Dungeon on there.
Yep, Spirit Tracks was on there, I think.
Yeah, so yeah, I like that idea. For me, I just think there's so many, so much out there, there's too many choices to play. And if I had that at my fingertips, I wouldn't be able to. I would never access it.
Yeah.
This is going to be free along with your already online subscription for, or is every game going to cost something?
No, it's all free. You can go in there and play whatever as long as you have that subscription active. I think
that online subscription.
Yeah, within the last 90 days, correct?
So NES Online, I believe how it works is, you need to have access to the internet at least once, every 7. If you don't connect in 7 days or something, you don't.
Oh,
have
is it
access.
7 days?
I think it's 7. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, that's probably right.
And actually, a correction for earlier. Not NES. Nintendo Switch Online is actually $19.99 per year.
Oh, so it's actually even cheaper.
That's a bargain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I have my own issues with that, but that's another story.
It's definitely not the best online service out there, but it is the cheapest out of all the
you get
companies.
what you pay for, right?
I guess so, and if they keep adding stuff to it, it's just increasing the value, I think. So that makes me excited, because it's not something you're gonna have to pay extra for. At least I hope not.
It would be nice if Nintendo. This is probably beating a dead horse. It would be nice, instead of putting all these games that are available elsewhere on their most modern console, they should spend their resources on fixing the online. That's been messed up for the past 15 years. Whenever online came about.
How about a party chat?
Yeah, give me a freaking break.
That's still embarrassing.
Essentially, Nintendo has so much money, they could invent just a brand new way.
Just hire Microsoft.
Online. Right, outsource their whatever.
Give it to Microsoft. Just become Xbox Live.
I mean, even I don't know how is the online on Xbox? Is it better than PS4?
I think at this point in time they're probably on par. I think 360 was way ahead of the PlayStation 3, just in terms of all the different features it had. It had a party chat. Yeah, it had a party chat.
PS3 had a party chat, didn't it?
No. PS3, the only way you could talk was through the game. There was actually no dedicated party chat app on the PS3.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
They learned.
We would use Discord, Skype, or whatever.
Yeah, I think Skype back then. And ironically, the Switch doesn't have a party chat. And I probably brought this up maybe 5 times throughout this podcast history. The PlayStation Vita, which came out in 2012 or 2011, I think it was 2012, had a party chat. Why the heck doesn't the Switch have a party chat? Makes absolutely no sense.
Because Nintendo is not in touch with
with reality.
Yeah, I mean, I could give a good example with. Have you guys tried playing the arena battles
Typing Mario
in Smash Brothers Ultimate?
It's not the best experience.
It is actually god awful.
It's terrible.
So what I was trying to do, it was me and a local friend. We're trying to connect with another friend so we could play together. But it turns out you cannot actually do that. The arena battles, which are kind of like private or public, like you can rate your own room. Um, it's only one player, local, and you can invite your friends online, but you can't co-op local and play with a friend across the internet.
Oh, what?
Nope. So there's no local play and play with friends. So you can only do local, which is only 2 player, online, or
Wow.
solo with friends online.
That's pretty bad. You know what? I actually want to piggyback off that, and this isn't necessarily related, but the I guess the ad hoc, local wireless on Smash Brothers. Once you get up to like 4 people doing it or 5 people doing it, it sucks. It's so laggy that it's worse than playing online. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember. It's just a bunch of frozen screens.
That was
it's
so
unplayable.
disappointing.
It's
Maybe they
unplayable.
updated it since then. I don't know.
Maybe.
But that sucked.
Yeah.
Especially because if you go and play the 3DS's Smash Brothers wireless, local wireless, it's perfect.
Yeah.
No issues. Like, what the hell's with that? That was really disappointing. But yeah, the whole online with Smash Brothers was completely ridiculous. Mario Maker's online, which they're supposed to fix at some point, also really disappointing out of the box or out of the shop because it is, you're unable to play with your friends. Like, you're just playing with random people online, which is fun sometimes, but if you want to play with your friends, I mean, it kind of is the whole point. So, yeah, that part is kind of disappointing with that. And then there's so many other things, but the biggest thing for me is why is there no party chat? Even the Wii U had a party chat. Do you remember that, John?
It
With the
did.
1 megapixel camera.
Oh man. Oh yeah. You can actually. Well, I mean, it was pretty cool, in a sense that you could do it, even though it was terrible,
Yeah,
because it's already beating the Switch in that regard.
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe terrible is not as good as just having nothing at all. When
yeah. It
comes
was
to
like,
Nintendo.
hey John, could you hear me on the Wii U party chat?
And then you can like draw stuff. I remember when they were advertising it. Oh man. No, you ever when they're showing off the Wii U and they're showing off the video chat and then like who was it, like Iwata making a heart on Reggie or something, or was it the opposite way?
Yeah, that was really weird when Reggie drew a penis on Iwata. That was so in bad taste.
It's a kids console.
I know, like, what the hell? Yeah, that was really that was very bad. They made it seem like it was way better than it was, though. And I don't know if you remember this. The Wii actually had a chat thing too with Wii Speak.
Yeah.
Yep.
I actually used
That was really weird. That was really weird.
Yeah, we had one.
I think we went in there like,
It
well,
didn't work.
well, that's the thing. I remember we were super, well, at least maybe I was super dumb, like back in 8th grade. For my graduation gift, I said I wanted a wireless router so we could play Wii online. If you're running a Windows 98 computer and you try to plug in a wireless router to that modem, you're not going to connect to the internet.
Yeah, but that kicked off our online careers.
Yeah.
That having that wireless router, it's like I don't know. The conversations we had with mom and dad to get a new computer, which I think was that black one that we had built in our high school.
Yeah.
The router was step one.
Yeah.
Hey, we can't use this. Let's get something that can. 10 years after we had this old one. So it wasn't that bad of a present. It was a long-term request for a graduation gift.
I bought it in June, and I had actually, no, I guess I bought it in, June, and I had to wait until, like, October to use it.
That is what's called an investment, and it did pay off. We've been, ever since October, we've had online access to video gaming ever since then.
Oh, God.
So that kicked it off.
Well, it was funny because, like, I was trying to look up solutions, and they had that Wii LAN adapter, and I told Mom about it. Mom's like, I do not want that in our house. I'm like, but Mom, it's just a cable.
Yeah.
Just plug in the Ethernet cable.
I mean, I didn't know. I don't think any of us really wasn't online really getting. Well, not necessarily. I don't know. It was a new thing for a lot of different people, I guess, at that point.
Yeah.
We were kind of a little bit behind the technology 8 ball.
Yeah, we definitely
In our
were.
house sometimes, just how it was.
Yeah, and that's not really the case anymore for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long time ago now.
Yeah. It's I just remember that. I'm like, why can't I get the LAN adapter? I do not want that in our house.
Yeah, she didn't know what it was. In fact, back when I was high school, I may not have been able to explain intelligently.
You are gonna get our house wiretapped.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it was about that. They just didn't want it.
Ironic, because the FBI is listening to us at all times nowadays, so maybe they were right.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I didn't even get to play in October. I used to have to sneak on and play Call of Duty because I was playing World at War online because I was not doing great in math. So Mom's like, I have to finish out this semester before I can play. So it's like, so we get wireless internet, and I can't even freaking play the game that I've been waiting to play since. Actually, I didn't even play the game I wanted to play because it was so long. I ended up selling it before I even had online access. That was a very stressful time in my life.
It paid off in the end.
Yeah, now I can play whatever the hell I want. No one can say anything about it.
Yay, freedom.
What were we talking about?
We're talking about Nintendo having bad online or something.
No, we were talking about the new SNES controller.
Oh, that's right.
I thought we just skipped on to like Nintendo Online. Sure, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just want to throw in there Nintendo's really bad with making online games.
They're very bad.
John, have you ever played Typing with Mario?
Typing with Mario?
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
I played Mario Teaches Typing back in the day.
Okay, whatever.
Tomato.
It's the same thing. I played Mavis Beacon and Jumpstart First Grade. Get over it, John.
Jumpstart First Grade. Everyone up front. John, did you get that?
First grade.
Jumpstart First Grade. Everyone up front.
I don't
Does that ring a bell?
First grade. I played the one with the noun song.
Yeah, you played second grade. Now.
John, you are a noun. I think that's how that went.
I thought it was peanut butter.
Where's the one where the octopus eats the popcorn pizza? Is that first grade?
I didn't.
Yeah, that is
Dude,
first grade.
you missed out. I'm sure it's available. It's probably like $5 on Amazon right now.
It's yeah, that whole game. We have to have an entire video dedicated to those games because
that wasn't
ridiculous.
exactly what was ordered. So
I think I still have them somewhere in the closet.
I think those were the prequels to Animal Crossing, correct? That was the Telltale Animal Crossing game that I was waiting. They lasted way longer than they should have. That's awful. Yeah, we have to talk about those games at some point because they were just backwards. Like, why would you be a human student going into a school taught by animals?
I don't know if you guys watched The Haunting of Hill House, but Jumpstart Fourth Grade was about 10 times scarier than that.
That was awful. It's
like
welcome to fourth grade. Here's some trigonometry.
Yeah.
Good luck.
And just the atmosphere was one of the creepiest things I've ever.
We're going to have some trigonometry inside the Mayan temple.
I'm singing in the rain. I'm singing in the rain. Why would she sing that? As the picture fades out, it was something else. Right, the long division. I remember being an expert in division, and you get to that game, and they ask you to do long division. I'm like, what the is this? What is this? Why is there like 5 numbers all separate? Like, it was something. It was.
Yeah, that was awful.
Yeah, I just remember like, oh my god, I gotta turn this off.
I couldn't even do that as an 8th grader, honestly.
What color is an orange? Student. Orange. That's correct.
That's correct. That's not Jumpstart, John.
That is not. It's Pajama Sam.
Oh my god, it's not the same. You need that Jumpstart. I don't know.
2 and 3. Second and third.
I need to go back and play Jumpstart 3rd grade because I skipped that year.
We did skip that. Was that any good, John? Do you remember?
I'm trying to remember the difference between second and third because I got them mixed up. But which games had what?
I think the music. Third grade must have had some big shoes to fill, at least in terms of music for Jumpstart second grade. Like, Johnny, you are a noun. God.
I thought I was peanut butter.
That is nothing but iconicism right there.
It's pretty phenomenal. That was extremely impressive. I mean, you don't expect that from a Jumpstart game.
Who even made those? Was it McGraw-Hill or something?
I think it actually might have been.
We'll have to, like you said, Cal, we'll have to revisit this.
Yeah, we're going to have an episode dedicated to Jumpstart games. Oh, goody! That'll be fun.
Yes.
So moving on, I don't know how we got to Jumpstart. So this next news story is, I lost it. No, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft have agreed to disclose loot box odds, which is kind of a plague that has hit almost every like major third-party game like the past like 3 years. And Rocket League has them, and I think recently they announced that Rocket League is going to be doing away with those, I think in 2020, correct?
I heard that too. I didn't look deep into it, but I think keys and loot boxes are going by, keys and crates are going by the wayside.
Do we get loot box forgiveness?
I don't know. What I'm hoping for is a rocket boost, like with crates.
Yeah.
Or rocket trail with keys. Or even something which utilizes, like that old-fashioned, dial, the Price is Right dial thing that they would do. It's a decal.
Oh, God.
They need to incorporate that somewhere. Maybe that'll be like a live decal.
I want a claw
just
machine.
To be ironic. Yeah.
You just move the claw and grab some.
I want chat
That's
stickers.
You can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Chat
Just
emojis.
Angry
emojis,
react.
Right.
Oh, that'd be great.
Didn't need
Or you
new
can
quick
like
chat.
people's comments on there.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Can you imagine that?
That'd be insane.
Like we wouldn't even play the game. We just sit in the chat room. It's like, hey, we're on Facebook chat right now, but we're playing PlayStation.
Well, I'm glad the loot boxes are going away. I always just prefer just to straight up buy them because I paid about, maybe it was all these years, $20 in keys, and I never got anything I wanted.
I always saved them. I always saved my crates for the double painted weekend. Like I got some good ass stuff by playing the waiting game.
That's a good idea.
So you won't be able to do that for too much longer, but that's what you got to do.
See, I used to like to open them because I'd be like, man, I'm going to get something really awesome. I'm going to put on my car, and John's going to make a big deal out of it. And then I would get something, I'd put it on there. I'm like, hey, like my wheels, John? He's like, I didn't even notice. Do you know how much I sacrificed?
It was just a
Who do you
snakeskin
think you are?
decal anyway.
Oh,
Who do you
God.
think you are?
Don't get me started with snakeskin. I have like
right.
20 snakeskins that aren't even the same classification, so you can't trade them in together.
That is the biggest crime Rocket League has
They
committed.
better change that, because that's also another. really
Yeah,
bad
they'll
part.
fix it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And Psionics, we trust.
Yeah. I out of all the companies, I kind of trust them more.
They seem to be
fix
doing
this.
right by, other than the whole Epic Games thing, or whatever it's called. They seem to be doing right by their customers, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And along with Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, there are third-party publishers that have, agreed to do this already. Activision Blizzard, Bandai Namco, Bethesda, Bungie, EA, Take-Two Interactive, Ubisoft, Warner Bros., and the Wizards of the Coast, which I honestly don't even know who those people are. And according to the ESA, which I wrote down what that meant, but I lost it. Other publishers are considering to do that too. But it seems to me that in order for a game to be published on the Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo Switch in 2020, they're going to have to agree to disclose, disclose that.
When you mean disclose, is that internally or is that public?
It's going to have to be public. Like
Okay.
when you go to select the loot box, when it shows you the different things that you can get, I believe, and I think Rocket League might actually.
Like
There's
are you
some.
talking about the odds number, like
It's gonna
ratio?
it's gonna tell you like the odds of each item, like what
Okay.
are the chances of you getting
so
it.
now MLB does show those that with their packs and actually tells you what the odds are. Even
That's
though I don't
right.
re- I
That's
don't
what
really
I'm thinking
believe
of.
it, even
No,
because I
that's
just
probably
like it really
incorrect.
bad. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's that's kind of wishy-washy, but they're supposed to do this, and this is kind of, I guess, the video game industry's way of self-regulating themselves, so they don't have to get like the government involved with like kids gambling on stuff. I think that's kind of where this whole thing stemmed from.
So how are those odds gonna get enforced? Like, can companies just like straight up lie when they give them the numbers, or?
I honestly don't know. Like that is
I
something
really
that I'm
want
a
to
little
know
bit
how that
concerned
works.
about. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess that they'll have to disclose maybe the coding to whatever company they're deciding to put their game on,
And they're gonna have a
platform on.
whole new division just for people to study that.
Hey, more jobs.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know how that's gonna be. But this was in a blog post that was written by the ESA. It said the video game industry relies on creating and sustaining relationships with our players based on fun, but just as importantly, on trust. One of the hallmarks of our industry is that we don't just create entertainment value for our players; we listen to them. So, loot boxes, I think, were kind of a complaint for a while. I'm not a huge fan of them because I think it's just kind of stupid. Like, just give us a list of different DLC things that we can buy and just let us buy what we want. I think that's a more ethical way of going about things. So hopefully that's how it becomes again. But I guess we'll see what happens with that. Yeah. Any other thoughts on that?
No,
Uh,
I don't like the whole gambling aspect that's available to children.
Yeah.
So, as soon as they can get away with getting away with these random loot boxes, or where the information is not disclosed to the people who are trying to get something from them, the better.
Yeah.
Let's see. So there's I played Paladins, and I know they've had some boxes that like eventually ended up being things you could straight up purchase.
Yeah.
So they have both in it. They don't disclose the odds though, but how the boxes work, and I think it's like Overwatch. I don't play Overwatch, but how it works is that once you get that item, you can't get it anymore. It just like goes out in the next random item. It's
That's
so
pretty cool.
yeah. So once you have it, you have it, and basically you could just keep buying the boxes until you get everything from.
So it basically increases your odds of getting what you want every time.
Yeah, basically.
That's pretty cool.
In Rocket League, it's just decal after decal after decal. After
Snakeskin,
decal.
snakeskin, snakeskin,
Yeah,
snakeskin.
Rocket League, it's the
John-
same thing.
And John's point earlier, even though you may have the same decal, you can't even use the trading mechanic a lot of the time because it came from a different series of crates,
Which
Yeah.
is stupid.
which is horrendous.
That's pretty bad.
I know why it's structured that way, because the crates have a tier list. Obviously, the crap is in the biggest tier list, and then the nice stuff is in the middle tier list. There's only a few items.
It's really arbitrary.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't like how they do it, and I'm glad it's going away.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that it's definitely a positive. It's a good look for them too, for Psyonix to get rid of them. It's I don't think there's really a need for it. I think that, with all the DLC they release and all that, people are buying stuff anyway. Just do it a different way.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's honestly a good thing. This next little piece here is that GameStop is essentially knocking on death's door at this point. This was an email that was sent out to employees, and I think an employee posted this on Lay Reddit. And this was on behalf of Gary Riding, who I guess is a high-up person at GameStop. They said, as part of our continued GameStop reboot transformation initiative, a dedicated team, including the retail vice presidents, HRLP, and the U.S. store operations leadership team, have been working diligently to realign our current field regions and districts in an effort to reduce our cost structure and build efficiencies into our field leadership organization so that we can reinvest the business. Unfortunately, with these changes, there are more than 50 field leaders who have been impacted and will be leaving the GameStop team. This includes regional district HR, and LP loss prevention leaders. These decisions are not easy but necessary to help us reduce cost, to enable investment in revenue-driving initiatives that will help grow the business once again. Obviously, layoffs are not really a sign of a company that is thriving currently. And recently, GameStop, I guess it was revealed that GameStop stock dropped 36%, bringing the value of the retail chain to the lowest it's been since 2003. I did get all of this off of The Verge. So not looking too great for GameStop. Not really a great time for them. People are seemingly buying less and less physical games and less used copies of games from them. Whatever business structure or restructure that they've been implementing hasn't really seemed to be working or even stopping the bleeding a little bit. So not great. And recently, I think maybe back in April or May, Sony discontinued the ability to buy games digitally through GameStop, like on a digital code. You can only now buy PSN cards and stuff like that. You can't buy like a digital copy. People actually do. Yeah, you can actually, even like on Amazon, like you used to be able to buy like a PlayStation
just going straight
code.
to like Xbox or PlayStation.
It works
store.
good if you're giving it away as a gift. In fact, our sister, I think I asked for a digital copy of
That
something.
is true, actually.
And it worked very nicely. It may have been, I forget which game it was, but it worked out
Assassin's
great.
Creed?
No, it wasn't Assassin's Creed. She got it for me.
I thought it was you got it for her.
Wink,
No, she
wink.
got it for me. Well, I may have gotten it. I think you may be right, but I think she may have also gotten a digital code for me as well.
Okay.
But I think you're right. I think I may have gotten a digital code for her.
And you actually can't do that. Back when I used to write for a game website, we used to receive review codes, and essentially it was like a gift card in a way. We didn't get the card or anything like that. They would just give us the code and we punch it in and we'd get the game. So that was essentially how this worked. I think that Sony has now moved that back to doing that just exclusively for media people that work in the journalist field. So they no longer are issuing those out, and essentially what they're doing is cutting out the middleman, where if you want to buy a game, they'd prefer that you buy the digital copy from them and they get, I guess, all the funds directly, split between them and the, developer or whatever, publisher. So yeah, that's not a thing anymore. And I think that also is something that impacts GameStop a little bit too, because if Sony's doing that, what's stopping Microsoft and Nintendo from doing that? So it's really not the best situation for them, but it just seems like they're following the path of, Blockbuster or, a video rental store, where it's like, if you're not selling other things too, you're not really going to, go too far for too long. And, they did have, the whole ThinkGeek that they purchased like a couple years ago. And, you see ThinkGeek stuff in their stores, but, even that, it's like, it's not enough to help. It's not enough to continue, GameStop's run. So what do you guys think about GameStop? Are you going to miss it if it goes under?
I was in there the other day, and it is nice to walk through the aisles, but I think I ultimately prefer digital games. Most of the time, I prefer digital stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also
They got some cool toys in there and stuff. Like I saw like a Bloodborne Hunter figurine in there the other day. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
that's one of
cool,
the
yeah.
things that they're moving towards, trying to attract people is I don't know if that's a GameStop exclusive. They have a lot of just toys and stuff and some GameStop exclusive merchandise.
Yeah.
So that might be one of the last things that they're trying to pull people in back for until, ultimately they go into the gutter.
Yeah. Or the ground, or, the giant whatever in the sky.
The giant hole in the ground.
Yeah. I think it's kind of sad. I mean, I like the toys and stuff they have in there.
Well, I'm going to say, let's just say, they have accessories that, and you don't think about, I don't think that actually exist
Yeah.
until I walk through those aisles. Like, oh, wait, that's something you can get? That's pretty neat. I
Yeah.
don't really have an example, but maybe it's just like a carrying case or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like people have that for their Switches, and I don't really see that advertised anywhere. It's not like we have Nickelodeon on 24/7 like when we were like 10 or whatever. So,
Oh yeah.
walk through there, kind of maybe you may find something that makes something more convenient for you at home.
Yeah.
With the stuff you already have.
Now,
Yeah.
how many independent game stores do you have in your area?
I think we have one independent game store, and they also are like an arcade. What about you?
I have one about 3-4 miles down, so slightly farther than my closest GameStop.
Okay.
I really like them. I think they might be the thing to take over after GameStop eventually shuts down.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. Just as a physical game business, I don't think GameStop really has anymore. Especially when you talked about them switching over to having games you can buy through their online store. Um, and also
Yeah.
a lot of the jokes about the whole trade-in prices and like the countless parodies of the GameStop experience. Yeah, GameStop experience, whole corporate talk and them trying to advertise stuff to you.
Yeah, it's
No one's
gross.
thing. No one likes that.
Yeah.
Versus,
Yeah.
I mean, you can still talk to employees about games and stuff, but they're still required under well, what their boss tells
The-
them to do, just like to try to advertise some program. Versus if you just walk into your local game store, you're just talking about them about anything. They won't really try to get you to. Well, I guess maybe they'll try to sell you stuff, but not like GameStop levels membership and stuff.
Yeah, it's like, do you want to buy a warranty for your case that you bought for your Switch? It's like, thought that was why I got the case. Well, and actually, this is kind of related. I've been to GameStop a few times, and people say like the most ridiculous things. Like some of the workers, like there's this one person who's like, "Oh yeah, I saw the new Xbox." This is like before they even like revealed like the Project Scarlet or whatever. He's like, "Yeah, he was telling some guy like that he was like working, that was trying to find something." He's like, "Yeah, man, you should totally wait for the new Xbox. I saw it. It's gonna be like it's gonna have like a 4 terabyte hard drive, and it's he was just saying a whole bunch of just ridiculous things. I'm like, dude, you don't see anything. You don't see anything until it comes to the store, if that. It's like, what are you talking
Were
about?
you overhearing a conversation? Is that something he told you?
No, I was overhearing the
Oh, okay.
conversation. Yeah, like they, yeah, they're. I've been told wrong information from GameStop employees like multiple times. Like they said, yeah, you won't be able to find a Switch for months. It's like, no, you found a Switch like a month later. Like,
Yeah, I
it's
mean
not a big deal.
that's just the thing with corporate jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, they tell you false info. He's like, you should really pre-order it because
No.
I'm good. I actually accidentally told someone at GameStop, there's like, oh, do you want to, pre-order this game? I'm like, oh no, I buy digital. And he's like, it's like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that.
Oh man, wrecked this whole day.
Now I did actually pre-order my NES amiibo from GameStop, which was nice. You can't buy NES digital. It doesn't work that way. So that was pretty cool. But I mean, I have certain memories of GameStop that I like. Like standing in line to get my 3DS, that was exciting. Going in there after like high school, like mom would take me in there for like a treat to go in there and like pre-order a game or pick up a game I pre-ordered like months ago. Games specifically, I remember Red Steel 2, Monster Hunter Tri on the Wii. Those were big games that I really liked, or even just like pre-ordering like Call of Duty back when I was like really into that. Really exciting. And I like the experience of going in there. You get your little GameStop bag and you head out. But I don't know. I feel like I've personally kind of outgrown that, and I don't really do that anymore. And I feel like a lot of people are on the same page. Like, to me, why go to GameStop when you can just go to Target and, also buy like food and stuff there too? I don't know. I don't really see a super huge need for GameStop.
Yeah, I mean, GameStop, if they just scaled back a little bit on the games, on the software aspect, and just what they're doing right now, and just selling the physical merchandise, game merchandise like toys and stuff,
Yeah.
A lot of the toy stores like Toys R Us is not a thing anymore. I think maybe a few of them are independently left, but
I think Toys R Us is actually coming back.
Yeah,
is
Jerry's Toy Box
well, at the moment, it's
or Jeffrey's Toy Box. I forget.
I
Al's
know
Toy Barn.
Best Buy tried doing the whole toy thing. They still had the toy aisles. Um, so I mean, I guess that's what GameStop could try to tackle that market. Maybe with the physical toys and whatnot, stuff you can't really
Yeah.
buy digital.
They should make it kind of like a pawn shop. People bring in like their old game
It is.
merchandise.
Yeah,
It is,
it's like
kind of, but and they rip you off.
Yeah.
there you go. GameStop is a pawn shop, but it's not explicit.
Honestly, that could probably be a good TV show. Like, hey guys,
GameStop.
let's just make a show how we sell these really expensive games, and then people bring in like a whole bunch of shit, and we give
I mean,
them,
I
like
think
it's like
GameStop's
1% of what they paid for.
the GameStop's more successful than Pawn Stars in that regard, probably.
Probably, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, people that don't know and people that aren't really aware of market value for like their stuff, especially before I guess like eBay and stuff are really like super mainstream for people.
Yeah, it's not so much people don't want to sell it on eBay. It's just like they just don't want to.
The whole rigmarole and have eBay be their best friends on email for the next 30 months. I hate dealing with eBay. I just get an enormous amount of emails and it's awful.
I sell a lot
Even-
on eBay, but I hate people.
Oh God. So yeah. So GameStop probably on its way out at some point. It'll be lucky to survive till Christmas.
I don't think it'll die before then.
Yeah, so make sure you say bye-bye to GameStop before it gets flushed down the toilet.
Goodbye.
Yep. Before PlayStation 5 comes out, GameStop will be a figment of our imagination. Speaking of PlayStation digital sales have officially passed their physical sales for the last, quarter. So for the fiscal period of April to June of 2019, which I guess this just came out not too long ago, digital sales of the PlayStation 4 are now at 53% of the market. And just for reference, the digital sales made up only 43% this time last year. So it went up 10%, which is, I'm assuming, a decent amount. So more than half of the sales were digital sales. And just to throw that in there, this did not count any deals or any free games that were, influenced by PlayStation Plus. So if it was discounted by PlayStation Plus, this was not part of that number. So they excluded those from that. So if you factor those in, then it's probably, 55%. I don't know. I'm not a math major. I don't know. But so
number.
yeah, so it's some kind of number. So this kind of shows that, and this isn't PlayStation exclusive either. Xbox is also reported numbers similar to that. I don't have them on hand, but you could definitely tell there's a big growth in terms of their digital sales over their physical sales. Why do you guys think that is?
Just pure convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't. I mean,
no one's
and
going to
it's
GameStop anymore.
more organized, right? It's
Yeah.
more organized. You don't have to have a game disc lying on your tabletop or entertainment system.
Yeah.
What's that?
You don't
And
have to
also,
worry about taking. Yeah, go ahead, John.
It's pre-orders as well, I would say.
Yeah.
You don't have to go wait for your store to open.
Right.
Pick
Yeah.
your game, come back.
You got it right there.
Plus you can pre-download.
Pre-download.
Yeah, that is awesome. I love pre-download. Yeah, that definitely does make it a lot better. And I guess we can just hop into the primary topic, which would be with GameStop in trouble and Sony's reporting highest digital sales of forever. Would you guys be okay with just going completely digital? I mean, there's an Xbox One out there that's cheaper. It doesn't even have a disc drive in it. It's all just digital. It's like the console version of the PSP Go. with not with not stupid
Nice.
memory.
They can use that drive for something else. Well, more space maybe. I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess because like games are downloadable, movies are downloadable. People have Netflix. Like, do we really even need to have the disk drive anymore? I mean, I'd rather just open up that space and put a bigger. Well, actually, it doesn't really
A
matter.
lot of people
hard
make
drive,
their
but
computers without a disk drive.
I don't have a disk drive in mine.
There you go.
Yeah, I
the
never
point?
needed it.
What's the point, right? Yeah.
I plugged it in to install Windows, but you can actually do that in a different way. I just thought that was the easiest way to do it.
Computer's a different story. I mean, you have old discs and stuff. You
Yeah.
want to burn them. I mean, personally too. Like, if I ever wanted to, if I get back to writing more music, I made a new album. If I wanted to sell copies of my album, I just have that to burn. But
Yeah.
that's different from like having software.
Yeah, and then, even then, though, wouldn't you just go digital with that?
Yeah, I mean, I can always like make digital codes, but some people still like physical. So it's
Yeah,
good to
just give a
always still have
cassette.
it.
Isn't sound quality a thing when it doesn't go on a CD? Does anyone know anything about that?
Depends on the CD. Depends on what kind of file you're using.
Because sound gets compressed and it may not sound as good if it goes on certain media, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think what's the higher quality? I think CD quality is higher quality than DVD quality, correct? Isn't that the two different
I don't really
qualities that
burn
they use?
stuff. So
I think burning CDs for music is still popular.
Yeah. That's this thing though. It's just weird because not a lot of people have. I guess in their cars they have a CD player, but I can't remember the last time went in someone's house and they had a CD player sitting out.
No,
I
mean, cars have the aux, the aux jack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My car doesn't have. My car's like, it's not old, but it's 2002. It has cassette.
So you still have the cassette?
Yeah, it's cassette and CD.
Oh man, I haven't seen a cassette player in a car in a long time.
Yeah, the Windstar we used to have.
That's right. Yeah, and it was weird because we actually had I think a Sony Walkman, or Mom did, and it actually had an adapter, like a cassette adapter. That
I remember
you plug
that.
in
It was
there.
the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
It is incredibly weird. So you could play your CD, but it was like in the most stupid way possible.
Yep.
And that was the thing. That's crazy. I don't even know how that worked, honestly. But yeah, so what were we talking about?
Physical, digital.
That's right. So if the next PlayStation came out and it just was completely without a disc drive, would you guys be upset?
No, as long as it was a 2 terabyte hard drive.
Yeah. So
What- yeah,
it
what if
all
it was-
depends on the what they give you.
Like if it's like 1 terabyte, like,
Well,
you
actually,
kidding me?
it wouldn't matter because the PS4 takes up the same space if you have a physical disc than if you have digital. The disc now just acts as a key,
Yeah.
which bothers me.
Yeah.
So I have been actually just going all digital.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of digital sales on
Yeah.
the PlayStation Store, so I bought that of a game I already have, and I basically got money back by selling the physical game.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
And I
I
guess
converted
that
my whole
was-
collection.
Yeah. And that was kind of like a thing back when the Xbox One was revealed, the whole DRM thing and how, no used games and stuff like that. Now it doesn't really, I mean, obviously there's some extreme things about that and, it didn't really work out. But like looking back, that was actually kind of forward thinking in a way because I feel like most people, at least according to the numbers now, are buying their games digitally. And there's not really a need for, these physical games anymore.
I like the idea of used games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were making fun of GameStop, but I mean they had like a 3 games for $15 deal. That's pretty
yeah.
good. If you have interest in some of those games, it's a really good deal.
Yeah, I
It is,
actually
yeah.
did that for PS3 games since PS3 only has so much space, and I did upgrade my PS3 to 500 gigabytes, but I have a lot of digital games, so there's
Yeah.
only so much I can fill in it, and the rest I have a bunch of physical games.
So I like that there's an option there right now for physical copies to be more accessible to maybe people who can't afford a lot of games and just wait a little bit and they can get it. You take advantage of those deals.
Yeah.
Digital has an advantage too, where it's much easier to keep on top of, at least for the PS4 standpoint. That's where we come from.
Yeah.
What the active deals are, so it's not like completely setting you up to be ripped off.
Oh
If you
yeah.
want to play the waiting game. That's how I got Bloodborne completely free off PS Plus.
Yeah.
But physical copies, when you do walk in there, you can get a lot of things really quickly. There is no 3-for-1 thing online.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, that is true. I think that it makes me wonder if, say, they stop the sale of all physical games because they're cutting out that part of the business. Obviously it's going to hurt some people, but cutting out that part of the business, does that now enable them to discount these games more heavily and more often because they're saving all that money from not having to distribute those
You're talking
or
about
produce
like the
those?
publishers themselves just stopping.
Yeah.
So, do you know limited run games?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
So basically, they've been getting a lot of, I think contract work, I believe is how it works for them, for other companies to put their digital games as a limited run, hence the name, physical edition.
Oh, okay.
And I think if companies start scaling back and just want to do digital only, they might go through companies like that, and you might see a rise in these kind of companies that produce a limited time physical only versions of these games.
I think that'd be good. I think that would be a good route to go. A good way to kind of wean people off of it. People that aren't as, into the digital medium, if they kind of just, they have a window where they can get it, then they can get it, and if not, they'll just have to get it digital. I kind of like that.
Yeah, so
That's a good idea.
In the used market, like maybe 10 years later, it'll still probably be worth as much as it did when it came out. So that's the only exception because there's not a mass amount of these games.
Yeah. So it'd be basically like a Nintendo game. It holds its value over time, even if it's artificial.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. I like that. I think that's a good way to kind of transition. Because really at this point, I'd like them to go all digital, and that way we can just fight against the whole streaming thing. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I was like, if you asked me this a couple years ago, I would have been completely against it. Really before the 3DS came out, I would have been completely against digital. Like, it's physical or nothing. I want to be able to sell these games back to GameStop for a quarter of what I paid for them, and I want to have that right as a consumer. But now it's like I'm all digital all the time. Now I'm against streaming. Don't bring those stupid streaming services. I want my games on my hard drive.
Remember OnLive? That was like one of the first ones.
I do not.
OnLive? You never... TJ, you never heard of that?
no.
So it was I think I believe it was like a console. I think they also had a app as well. I think it was maybe just an app. So online. I don't know if they're even... Oh, defunct 2015. So they're not a thing anymore. Founded 2013. Let's see. Online's flagship product was its cloud gaming service. So yeah, it was just kind of like an app. They made a controller, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, so
It's like
I don't know if they were
prehistoric
one of the
Google Stadia.
first. Probably, yeah. Yeah, okay, so I believe they had a system. Yeah, they had a game system that came with a controller. Bluetooth, HDMI. I'm not sure if they still... Well, I guess because they're defunct, I guess maybe their service is done, so it kind of would suck for anyone who still has it. Let's see. On 2015, it was announced that Sony Computer Entertainment had acquired online's patents and that all online services would be discontinued on April 30th, 2015. I did not notice this happened. So.
Wow. And when was this?
When did they start?
Like, when did Sony acquire that?
2015.
So that's kind of a while ago then.
It was. So I never know. Because I remember when their thing, and it wasn't that many years before they went down. I think it was maybe 2010 or something when they started. It was pretty cool at the time. I tried it out. I could play uh, higher end games on a bad computer, but it all depended on connection, so it was kind of finicky in that regard.
A little bit of latency.
Quite a bit actually. Yeah, that's when they're
Yeah.
still in beta.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I just don't know about the whole input lag. That was something I think me and you talked about that in our E3 podcast about Google Stadia, where I just don't believe in the technology in that yet. I think that I don't know. I want the game on my hard drive at least. Like if it's snowing outside and then we lost all, well, I guess we lost the power. Then if we just lost the internet and all the power was still on, I want to still be able to access the games. And that's kind of where I'm at with that. Um, but so do you guys see any benefits left? I guess of physical games. I mean, because at this point, like John said, it's really just a code, and it's not like you get like the box with the little pamphlet inside that has like the little information about the game, like the old like Game Boy Advance games or PlayStation 2 games or I guess anything before this generation. Like, I don't know. I feel like you just don't really get enough anymore. I guess you get resale value. You can sell it again. But besides that, I mean, do you guys even see any benefit of physical?
There is the bargain bin thing.
Yeah.
If you like displaying a collection of what you have, right? I mean, I would think one of the physical things I'll always get physical as long as a physical copy is available. And if Pokemon gets their act together, if Game Freak gets their act together, like a physical Pokemon game,
Yeah.
I like seeing all the consistent looks those games have on the cover art, stacked up, and I like seeing their spines, like how it's progressed over the years and things like that. So
That is cool.
that is, if you're a collector, right? A physical copies of games benefit you more.
Yeah.
That's really all I can think of.
I used to be 100% physical, but I kind of been becoming more minimalist in the things I own. So I started getting rid of a lot of that stuff. I just 100%, well, not 100% digital completely, since I still have stuff that needs the physical copies.
Yeah, you decluttered.
I'm decluttering
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just like it all there. If I move like the system around, like let's say I move to another TV, I bring it somewhere.
It's all with you.
Yeah, all the games are there. I don't need to bring the games.
Right.
That is nice. Yeah, that's especially with like a system like the Switch because you're bringing it around.
Yeah.
Or at least,
And
you
that's
might bring it
also
around.
something I'm going completely digital now, unless I can get the game for dirt cheap. So the only two games I got for really cheap, like cheaper than they still are now, are Doom. I got it for what was it, like $8 or something, and then Eleanor, I got it for $12.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So that's the only exception with games. If I can get it like super super cheap, I'll get it physical.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I would make certain exceptions, and I do. Like this year, I bought the show physical because Bryce Harper's on the cover. That was something that I wanted physically. If there was another Madden game, I bought Madden Digital this year for the first year in a couple years since the one that Rob Gronkowski was on the cover of. This is the first year I bought it digitally because I didn't really care about Patrick Mahomes being on the cover. But say like next year, if Carson Wentz has an MVP year and he ends up being on the cover, I'd probably pick that up physically. So there's just certain things like Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild 2, when that comes out, probably buy it physical. So I guess I pick and choose certain games that I guess if there's an option to buy it physical and I'm really into that game, I'll go ahead and pick it up. At least games that have, I guess, maybe like sentimental value or, something I'm really interested in, then yeah, I'll go ahead and pick it up. And then maybe one day I'll display it. Chances are I probably won't. But that's kind of like an exception I make for that.
That's a great point. There's definitely, I wanted Dark Souls 3 as a physical copy. I don't really know how to explain why, other than I know I'd really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, same with GTA 5. I forget the other physical copies of PS4 games. There are not that many. Maybe I don't even think Horizon Zero Dawn I have as a physical copy. GTA 5, Dark Souls 3, Metal Gear 5. Those are definitely 3. There may be another one.
Red Dead?
Red Dead's another physical copy. Yep. Even the Xbox one that I never played, the original Red Dead, wanted a physical copy. These are like legendary games. These are like top tier games.
Yeah.
That I wanted physical copies for.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another reason why I'm going all digital. Is
Yeah.
because the PlayStation Store, maybe the eShop on Switch, have been having a lot of like good sales, like really steep discounts on these games.
Yeah, they have been.
And if you miss a discount, like a couple weeks later, there'll be another discount.
They always like even like some of the AAA games on PlayStation go on sale a lot, so you don't really miss out.
And, I keep bringing up Dark Souls 3, and it goes to exactly what John's saying. Like 2 months ago, like getting the whole thing with the DLC was like $84, and then they brought it down to like 20, and like a week later it went back up to 84, and then like 3 weeks after that it went back to 20 again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and if you keep checking back, you'll find that stuff every day. There's a chance there'll be a flash sale that wasn't advertised.
Yeah, just pops up.
I can actually just read it right now because I have the store up. What's on sale? This is the summer sale, I believe, on
Yeah.
PlayStation.
It's with the pink and green color motif.
Yeah. I guess if you have the game, it doesn't tell you how much it actually is. Oh, it shows the percentage off though. GTA 5 50% off. Red Dead 35%. Far Cry New Dawn 50%. Ark
Pretty good.
Survival. I don't know what this. 65%. Devil May Cry 3 34. Battlefield 5 60%. Spider-Man is actually $16 right now, and I might pick it up since I don't have it.
You need to get that game. That game is
I'm probably
phenomenal.
gonna pick it up. It's $16 right now. Battlefield 4 $5.
Wow.
Battlefront, EA Battlefront, the first and second one, it's a bundle with both games. $9 for both.
Wow. That's pretty good.
That's really good. Borderlands 75% off, like the Hands of Jack collection. Witcher 3 70.
That's actually something I might be interested in.
Yeah, Witcher 3 70% off.
That's good.
Oh, the Battlefield 4 Premium Edition 75% off. Red Dead Redemption 2 Ultimate Edition 45%. It just keeps going. There's just a bunch of these like AAA games that are discounted a whole bunch.
Yeah, definitely get Spider-Man though. That's my favorite PlayStation 4 game. Like,
yeah, I mean,
favorite
I'm convinced
PlayStation
now.
exclusive.
It's $16. You can't really go wrong with that.
oh god, yeah, that is. Oh my god, I want to replay that game again. This game is awesome, so good. That's some pretty good deals though. That's the first time I think I've seen Spider-Man really discounted. That's pretty neat. I guess it's been almost a year now since it came out, so it kind of makes sense.
Has it?
Almost. I think it came out in September last year.
Wow.
Yeah. Get with the times. No, that's a really good deal. I'd pick that up in a heartbeat if I didn't have it, and I knew how great it was. Yeah, that's awesome. So there's definitely a lot of benefits there with the digital copies. You do get frequent sales, and it's like Steam Summer Sale. That was always like a big meme, and I think it still kind of is, but I feel like Steam's kind of losing popularity. But you can get like a ton of games that you'll never play and get them at like a really cheap price.
Yeah.
They'll just sit on your hard drive or in your game
External hard
list.
drive.
Yeah. It's
Right,
like
download list.
one day, it's like when I bought Undertale, I'm like, I'm totally gonna play this. It's like
You haven't
never
yet.
did. I
Yeah.
played a little bit on the Switch.
Yeah.
That to me is more of a handheld game. Just my opinion.
Right.
I just feel like it fits better on a handheld, and yeah, that style of game always to me plays better on a handheld. But yeah, so I'm guessing all of us buy more digital games than physical games, correct?
Yeah, nowadays, absolutely.
Yeah. You, John, too? Well, you actually already kind of answered that question because you said that you're basically all switched up with your digital games. That's 100% digital. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I had on that whole topic for the digital games. I just figured it made sense because of just what was going on with like, the industry currently. I think we lost John. So
John, come back.
yeah, I think we lost John, and I don't know if he's here or not. Yeah. Well, I don't know about you, but I say we should end this before he comes back.
Yeah, this was pretty good timing. I mean, we were really towards the end anyway.
I was out of gas, so I was running on E, and yeah, I think he's dead.
Running on empty, running on.
I don't know if we have that pink noise. I don't know, pink static. What did he say?
Well, we did rely on John to, be here the whole time. So,
Yeah, it says we went offline. So,
Okay.
yep, we're just gonna have to do this without John. Maybe John will be saying something right now, and we'll include it.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for listening in today. As always, you can find this podcast on Stitcher Radio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We're on iHeartRadio now for some reason. No idea how that happened. It just happened. And then we also are on CastBox, and I think that is pretty much it. We're also going to be available on YouTube as well. If you guys haven't checked out the Rocket League podcast, definitely check out that YouTube video for that, because it kind of shows some of our older games. I definitely think that is worth a watch or listen, depending on what kind of mood you're in. We actually did get copyright struck on Facebook for that video, because the video music that John used, the like Skrillex or whatever, you're actually not allowed to use that, but YouTube didn't care. So
Not yet.
yeah, not yet. So we'll give it time. So watch it while you can, and enjoy that. So thank you guys so much for listening in, and until next time, we'll see you guys later.
Goodbye.